Students, today we are discussing on finite verb phrases. This is our 15th lecture. For example, I play and she play. I play and she play. These are the two examples. In these two examples, the subjects are I and she. In front of I, there is the play verb, and in front of she, the verb play has taken yes suffix with it. So, when we see this difference tells us that this verb, means the finite verb, this verb has changed according to the subjects. The finite verb has changed according to the subjects. Means in the sentence, the finite verb changes as per the subjects. For example, I play, she play. The subject is I, so it is play. And the subject is she, so it is plays. And when the subject is they, T-H-E-Y, they, it becomes play. So we say they play. They play. So it is very clear that the finite verb changes as per the main subject. Thus, the verbs changing. The verbs changing means what? The verbs changed like this. For example, play, plays. These are the changed verbs. So, such verbs changing as per the subjects are called finite verbs. So, now the definition of the finite verb is very clear here. What is the definition now of the finite verb? The finite verb is the verb which changes as per the subjects. It means if the subject is singular, the finite verb is also singular. If the subject is plural, that is plural, we will say the finite verb is also plural. This is called the definition of the finite verb, because the finite verb changes as per the subjects. We can call these subjects. So these are the finite verbs. These are the finite verbs, and these are the subjects. But we will discuss about the verbs. So these verbs are called the roots. Roots means that is the main. Because when we think of a tree, the tree is standing on its place only because of the root. In this way, in the sentence, the finite verb is the root. Because without the finite verb, no sentence can stand on its place. And that's why this finite verb is called a root verb. It is the basic verb. Basic verb means what? Basic means what? Basic means primary. Because our everything begins from the primary. In our life also, we can call our grandfather, who is our primary stage, then our father, then we are there. In this way, basic means primary, and without primary or without basic, nothing is possible in life. In this way, nothing is possible without this finite verb in the sentence, and so this finite verb is called the basic verbs. Again, this finite verb is called the tensed verbs. T-E-N-S-E-D, tensed, means this verb changes as per the tenses. We have seen that there are three main tenses. There are the substypes 12. In this way there are these tenses, and so in all these tenses also this finite verb is very important. Without this finite verb no tense can stand, and that's why these finite verbs are also called the tensed verbs. And again, these finite verbs are called only one verbs. Only one verbs means what? The finite verbs are only one, means they are not two. The finite verb is only one verb. There are no two verbs. The two verbs come together, but the first verb, the basic verb, becomes the finite verb, and so we can say that these finite verbs are called only one verbs also, or it is a only one verb, or it is a first verb in the sentence. It is not the second sentence, the first sentence, and the first verb, and so the first verb is called the finite verb in the sentence. These verbs are called single because they are single. Single means they have no pair. They actually in the sentence there are the pairs. For example, I am going, I am going. So am going is the pair of the verbs. But in this pair, am is the finite and going is the infinite. So the first verb, so the single verb or first verb is called the finite verb, and so the finite verbs are also called here the single verbs, the main verbs. So it is the main verb and it is the first verb. So these are the titles or names given to this finite verb. The finite verb is the element of the verb. Element of the verb. Just we saw, I am going. Suppose I am going. So I am going. So am is the finite verb and it is the element of going, and that's why it is called the element of the verb in the main clause. In the main clause means in the main sentence. Clause means what? A sentence. A sentence means what? A clause. And how clause becomes? A clause becomes with the help of the SVOC pattern. SVOC. Subject, verb, object and complement makes the clause. For example, we will see here, I play golf every day. Golf, G-O-L-F. Golf. This is the name of the game. I play golf every day. Here in this sentence, I play golf every day is a main clause. That is the main sentence. And PLAY, play is the element or part or member of that sentence, we can say, and so the finite verb is also the element of the sentence, the element of the verb, we can say. The finite verb shows agreement. So what is now agreement? If we take the example of Amitabh Bachchan's picture, what is the title of that picture? I don't know, but actually there is the song Agreement. Agreement ho gaya rabba rabba in Hindi. It is written in Hindi, and that's why agreement ho gaya rabba rabba. It means agreement means what? The lovers have come together. The lovers have come together means it has become their friendship, and it has been their relation, and it has been their concord. So in that picture there is the agreement, and here is also the agreement of the finite verb, concord of the finite verb, relation of the finite verb with the subject. Means in the sentence the finite verb has the agreement with the subject, How? We will take some examples. She was selling the eel donkeys. She was selling the eel donkeys. How are the donkeys? Eel. Sika donkeys. S-I-C-K. Sika donkeys. She was selling the eel donkeys. This is the first sentence. And they were selling the eel donkeys. This is the second sentence. So in the first sentence, she was selling the eel donkeys. In this sentence, the concord, the agreement or the relation of the finite verb and the finite verb and the subject is this. How? She is singular and was is also singular. And in the second sentence, they were selling the eel donkeys. In this second sentence, the subject is plural and the verb is also plural. So how is the concord there? The concord is like this. It means that the concord is very clear. If the subject is singular, the finite verb is singular. If the subject is plural, the finite verb is also plural. Means this is the concord or agreement in the sentence. The finite means limited. Just we saw that the finite verb is only one verb, that is the limited. So the finite means limited. Limited means what? The finite verb is limited or shortened. The finite verb is limited, means it is shortened, it is lessened, it is limited, it is made single. It is made single by the subject. The subject makes it single. The subject makes it singular. The subject makes it limited or short. That is called this. How that subject makes it singular or shortened or limited? In number. In number. Number means what? If the number is singular, the verb becomes singular. If the number is plural, the verb becomes plural. That is called limited. So the finite verbs are limited. The finite verbs are shortened like this. And persons. Persons. Now there are first person, second person, third person. All these persons also make effect on the finite verb and they also make the finite verbs or verb short. For example, we will see. I am a man. I am a man. So here the subject is I. So there is am verb. And the complement is man. In the second sentence, she is a woman. The subject is she and the finite verb is. And again, complement is woman. And next sentence, they are men. So they is the subject which is plural and that's why there is are is the finite verb and men is the complement. Men is plural, are is also plural and they is also plural. So if the subject is plural, the finite verb is plural. If the subject is singular, the finite verb is also singular. That is here the main rule of the finite verbs. The tense also changes the finite verb. The tense, just we saw that there are the three main tenses and the subtypes are 12. So in these subtypes 12, all these subtypes or all these subtenses, they also change this finite verb. How? We will take two examples only. She sings. This is the simple present tense. That's why she sings. And second is she sang. She sang. Sang means it is the simple past tense. Again we will complete the sentences. She sings a song. She sang a song. In this way we can say that the tense also changes the finite verb. The finite verb is the locus. The finite verb is called the locus. Locus means what? A main place, a main center, nucleus. Nucleus means main shelter, means the main place. The main place, the locus. So the finite verb is the locus where gender, person, number, tense, aspect, mood and voices come together. It means that the finite verb is the particular locus which makes the genders, which makes the persons, or it is changed by the genders. So genders means he, she, masculine, feminine, neuter, these are the genders, persons, first, second, third, persons, number, singular, plural, tenses, just we saw, aspect, perfect aspect, perfective aspect, progressive aspect, just we, now we are looking it, just we are looking it that the aspects are perfective, progressive or perfect. Mood, there are the moods, there are the moods, imperative mood, declarative mood, requestive mood. In this way there are the moods in the sentences or in the grammar. Those moods and voices. Voices means what? Active voice, passive voice, middle voice. All these voices and all these I will say moods, aspects, tenses, numbers, persons, genders. All these affect on this finite verb, or this finite verb is affected by all these, and that's why we can say this is the affective verb also. This is the changing verb also, because this verb changes as per these total aspects, or I will say total terms. The finite verb is the root. Just we saw, again there is the point, so we are discussing. The finite verb is the root of the sentence, clause, and the non-finite verbs can be there more than 7, 8. What is the point? Let me clear this point that the finite verb is the root, just we saw. But the main important thing is that with this finite verb in the sentence, there are other verbs also. They are called non-finite verbs. So these non-finite verbs are more. They are more, means they are more than 7, and that's why it becomes a paragraph. That's why it becomes a paragraph. And so we will take one example and we will prove here that the non-finite verbs are more and the finite verb is only one. In the clause we will see. She was trusted. What is the example? She was trusted to have been informed, to have herself checked. Again I will read the example. She was trusted to have been informed, to have herself checked. In this sentence, she is the subject, was is the, W-A-S, was is the finite verb, and trusted is the non-finite verb, to have been informed is the non-finite verb, and also to have herself checked. Herself is not the verb, but have checked, to have checked, these are the non-finite verbs. means it is very clear that in the clause the non-finite verbs are more and the finite verb is only one. That is the point just we discussed. The next is the finite verbs do appear. Do appear means definitely appear. Do appear means they come in dependent and independent clauses. Now see, there are the two types of the clauses. The first type is dependent and the second is independent. So in dependent and independent clauses also these finite verbs come. For example, William said that Susan observed nature. William said that Susan observed nature. Let me clear here that that is the conjunction here and William said is the main sentence, and from that means from this conjunction that Susan observed nature, this is the subordinate clause. And in this way, in this clause also the finite verb has come and that finite verb is said and the non-finite verbs are observed. Is observed. Next point is that modal auxiliaries are defective. There are the modal auxiliaries we have seen in our last lecture or the previous lecture. We have seen can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would. These are the modal auxiliaries, and these modal auxiliaries are defective. At that time also, in that lecture also, we saw that these modal auxiliaries are defective, so they are treated as the finite verbs. They are defective means there is no exact use or exact rule of these modal auxiliaries, or these modal auxiliaries are not exact the main verbs, they only are the modals, and so they are defective. And they are defective, so they are treated as the finite verbs. They are treated as the finite verb. The next point is that the finite verbs don't receive a subject. The finite verbs don't receive a subject in the imperative sentences. It means that when we make the imperative sentences, those imperative sentences do not take the finite verb with them. How? We will see. Go there please. Go there please means this sentence has been started with go. This sentence has not been started by the subject. That's why it is the imperative sentence. So go there please and don't go there please. In these two sentences, we have started these sentences with the finite verb. We have not started with the subjects, and that's why we can say here that in the imperative sentences also the finite verbs come. Thus, there is no grammatical sentence without the finite verbs. The last and important thing is that there is no grammatical structure without the finite verbs. Means we cannot make any kind of grammatical structure without the assistance of these finite verbs, because these finite verbs in the sentence are the locus roots, and that's why without them there is no grammatical structure in the grammar. So next, the finite verbs are received as follows. Means we can receive the finite verbs as follows. For example, go, goes, went, have, gone, am, going, have been playing, had received, had been receiving, can go, can have gone, will have been playing, am, is, are done. In all these phrases, we can say that the first is the finite verb. How? Go is the finite verb, goes is the finite verb, went is the finite verb, have gone, have is the finite verb, am going, am is the finite verb, have been playing, have is the finite verb, had received, had is the finite verb, had been receiving, had is the finite verb, can go, can is the finite verb, can have gone, can is the finite verb, will have been playing, will is the finite verb, am is, are done. So am is, are done. So am is, are, these are the finite verbs. In this way, today we have finished our lecture. Again, I want to request you all students that you should be only in homes. You should not go outside, because the corona has spread everywhere and the life of man has become very difficult. I hope you will stay at home and follow the instructions of the government, and you will not be a prey to corona. Thank you very much.